You should go with a strong viewpoint, but you should be willing to change if you get new data. Absolutely. But if you don't have any viewpoint, and every time someone is discussing and say, ye bhi acha hai, ye bhi acha hai, this is also good, that's also right, what is your viewpoint? So today you'll do this, tomorrow you'll do that, after tomorrow you'll do that, this customer said that, this customer said this. Next thing you know, you'll have 9 varieties. So most entrepreneurship dies because of indigestion, not out of starvation.
Having served in turnaround roles on various boards, which leadership qualities have proven most critical during challenging periods for you? Because you have been on the segment of entrepreneurs, you've also been on the segment of investors. What was that challenging?
Turnarounds are usually when companies hit a revenue wall, right? Like a $15 and $20 million wall, and they're trying to get from 20 million to, let's say, 50 million. It turns out, right, 0 to 1 is one wall, 1 to 5 is another wall, 5 to 10 is another wall, 10 to 20 is another wall. What worked from going from 1 to 5 is not going to work to go from 5 to 20. They have different mile sets.
Like what got you here won't get you there.
Yes, right? So at each stage, you have to know what to keep and what to throw. Learning what to keep and what to kill becomes a strategic superpower that you have to build. And it's extremely easy to get distracted. And especially if you're an entrepreneur, everything looks like a challenge, everything seems important, and everything needs to be done right now.
Correct.
And that is usually a bad sign. And if you're not ruthlessly focused and prioritized, and you understand that some fires have to burn. If you are focused on putting out every fire that's happening within your company, it will consume you, and you will be the pyromaniac in your company. So the trick for entrepreneurs, right, and operators who are doing turnaround companies, or entrepreneurs who got into a situation where they have to turn around a company because they've hit a wall, you have to realize that you cannot be all things to all people. You're going to sub-optimize your value proposition, which is why I was giving you that example earlier on, right, about Vidyarthi Bhavan, right? He does not care about people who eat chole bhatures. Okay, you can go there. So the discipline Vidyarthi Bhavan has is that he will never have chole bhature on his menu.
Yep.
And he will live for another 100 years. God bless his soul, okay? That is the same discipline that is required, right, for entrepreneurs, with a slightly different mindset that if you want to scale the company, right, what you learn from doing, let's say masala dosas, right, you want to get to the next level, that what you did for masala dosa is not going to work. So if you do a turnaround, the ability for you, right, this is why services company can never become software product companies, and software product companies don't know how to be good services companies.
Bang on.
And the reason is that if you're a services company, which I know you are, when I advise services companies, I think of helping services companies in terms of how they could productize their service, right? So this is why in today's world, especially in SaaS, right, new SaaS, I call services as software, not software as services. And services as software means that you're still going to leave behind software for the company, but they still are a recurring customer for you to keep offering value-added services, which is perfect for the new world of AI. Because what is AI? AI is not a one-time thing. It's test and learn, test and learn, test and learn, and then train, and then reinforce, and then reason. Test and train, reinforce, train, fine-tune, reason, go back, right? It's a perfect model for services companies to productize what their offerings are. But the big sort of OPD companies or other types, they're now caught with their heavy feet because they cannot shift their mindset from going from productizing their services to what they've done before, which is commoditizing price with people. On the flip side, you pick up product companies, if they don't figure out a way to say, yeah, I want to do a release every 3 months, every 6 months, and customers are going to be happy, they're going to fail too. They got to figure out a way to do this, if not on an hourly basis, at least on a daily basis, to do updates to their customers' infrastructure. Gone are the days where you do a product launch every 3 months, or every 6 months, or every 8 months, every 9 months. No, right? There's no reason why a software company cannot allow their consumer to discover one new feature a day. There's no reason not to, right? So how you evolve your internal structures, how you involve the culture of the team is the single most important fact of redefining how you think about building your teams, structure, and culture. And that is one of the most important things that you could start to think about strategically. And in those challenging times, if you don't figure out, people say, you know what, after this launch is over, we'll make that change. No, right? It is only at the time of crisis should you make the most dominant change. It's counterintuitive. When something is burning at its peak, you have to change it. It turns out, you know where this is true for us?
Where do you think?
Our human physique. That gent will only stop smoking after he gets a heart attack. He will only change his lifestyle after something. It's not that he didn't know that smoking is bad or not working out is bad. It's only at the time of crisis.
Yep.
And if he or she survives, they'll say, oh, you know what, we should change how we live. Wait a minute, you didn't know that before?
It's a more of a reactive approach.
So that doesn't work, right? When you think about whether you're an entrepreneur or you're a turnaround guy or you're VC, right? There's no such thing as the right time to do the right thing. There's no such thing. Right time,
Right now.
right now, always the right thing.
All we have is now.
All we have is now is what you have there, right?
Yes.
And that is the most important, learning is to be decisive. And here again, I'm going to give you a politely confrontational view, okay? Which is this idea of maintaining an extremely strong belief, but very loosely held. Because you should go with a strong viewpoint, but you should be willing to change if you get new data.
Absolutely.
But if you don't have any viewpoint, and every time someone is discussing and say, ye bhi acha hai, this is also good, that's also right, what is your viewpoint? So today you'll do this, tomorrow you'll do that, after tomorrow you'll do that, this customer said that, this customer said this. Next thing you know, you'll have 9 varieties. So most entrepreneurship dies because of indigestion, not out of starvation.
That's a well.
So it is a counterintuitive thought, again, which is very relevant to the Indian entrepreneur. Just we understand, we see starvation here. We see poverty here on the streets, right? You don't typically see that in the US, although we do see a lot of homeless now in the US. But you don't see poverty unless you go to really large rural areas, right? So we understand what it means to have constraints, right? We understand what the dichotomy is. So you must have very, very strong points of views, very loosely held.